This week's Economy Matters column by Hillmarè Schulze looks at why Māori households are getting poorer despite a $1 billion government budget allocation for Māori development. So Hillmarè, what have you found?
Hi, and thank you, Jono. Yes, we started looking at the Māori economy in about 2006 for the first time, and we repeated the exercise with every census, so in 2010 and in 2018. And what we have found is that in 2006, Māori households actually contributed more to government coffers than what they received in terms of subsidies and benefits. Now, that position changed slightly in 2010 and has significantly deteriorated in 2018, where Māori households receive a lot more in benefits and subsidies than what they pay in taxes and fines back to the government.
So you've found quite a change since first looking at this in 2006?
Yes, a significant change. And I think the biggest, in terms of if you dive into the numbers, is that the share of Māori households that receive income from salaries and wages has significantly dropped, and the government's contribution to Māori households has grown from 18% in 2006 to 35% in 2018.
Yeah, so what's going wrong then for those government contributions to increase, yet Māori households are poorer?
I think it's also where the funding is channeled and what it focuses on. And I'm an absolute advocate that the focus should be on economic empowerment as a starting point. So what are we doing to ensure that Māori are good quality jobs, that they earn a decent salary, and that they have opportunities in terms of starting from the education pipeline right through to good quality jobs?
What are the indicators telling us? Are things going to improve?
We are not so sure that we are not confident that the indicators will improve next year with the 2023 census, as well as with the impact of COVID over the last 2 years. We are not that confident that we would actually see households being in a better position.
Well, what needs to change then?
The change, I think, is focusing on specifically education and the education pipeline and empowering Māori to move from low-income jobs to higher-income jobs. So the focus should be on wages and salaries and education.
Why is there a huge disparity, do you think?
It's very hard. I think it's a combination of things, but we've seen throughout the years that the biggest contribution in terms of the Māori economy are people earning a salary and a wage. So the focus should be on how do we make sure that people are in a position and feel empowered to earn an income.
Why is this data important, and who needs to be reading it?
This data, I think, is important for everyone that are in a policy decision-making position. Also in terms of looking at, when we do look at the future, we want to make sure that we invest funding that are both empowering in terms of Māori economic development, because we know that Māori economic development is also good for the entire New Zealand.
Has the funding been skewed in a certain area where it hasn't worked? Is that the problem?
I think it's looking at the share of the funding that goes into specific areas, the share of the funding that goes into job creation and education should be relooked as well. I know that health is an important part of the entire package, but we do need to focus on things that we can ensure that when the next economic shock comes in 10 years' time, that Māori households are better prepared.
Are there any positives within your data, though, some bright shoots?
There are some positives around Māori moving into higher skilled jobs. So we've seen a significant increase in that, but it's still 50% of Māori are employed in low skilled jobs.
Hillmarè Schulze, thank you.
Thank you, Jono.